Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris, the High Guy Jacobs, and today we've got another episode of School's in Session for you. Today we're sitting down with a 52 million might player who's just starting his Doomsday career. His name is Lateralus, he's known as Lat either way. And so we're going to dive into his account. 52 million, like I said, just scratching the surface. Just diving in and learning the game and wanting a little bit of details and to ask some questions and things like that. So I hope you guys enjoy. And if you do like these segments, if you like these Schools in Session segments, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to smash the like button, click the like button. I need you to share the video, and I need you to get it out to as many people as you can. If you like the video, if you subscribe to the channel, fill out the notification bell, and watch it all the way through, it really helps the algorithm get it out to more people. So if you can do that for me, that would be great. Even if you just put it on in the background and let it run, that would be greatly appreciated. So like, comment, subscribe to the channel, fill out the notification bell, and lastly, don't forget to click the join button and become a member today. Help the community just a little bit more. Other than that, let's dive in. Let's take a look at Lat's account, and let's get into it. All right, so first and foremost, what is your game name again?
It's Lat.
Lat. Okay. Lat, very nice to meet you. Thanks very much for joining us on this episode. So
yeah, it's nice to be here.
So let's talk first and foremost. Are you looking for, are we wanting to do a top-down kind of analysis of your account? Did you want to ask specific questions? Did you want to do a little bit of both? What's your goal of this school session?
Yeah, I think both, because I think I need some help from scratch, technically, because I think I did some stuff right, but I'm quite sure I made a lot of mistakes.
Well, you're still pretty young in your career, so it makes sense that you want to take something to look at it now. Because, at a 198 account, I was looking, you're 200 days in. You're kind of going to be getting to a point where you're going to want to start participating more and putting in more and things like that, so it's a good time to kind of get a grip on what the game actually means.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start first then. I actually just did a video on gathering, but let's start first by looking at your gathering heroes and seeing what you have set up for there. Now, let's look at your heroes in general. Go to your heroes for me. And scroll down to the bottom. I want to see which heroes you don't have.
Yeah.
Just
bunch
elites?
Of them.
Just legendaries, pardon me, or do you have all the elites?
Yes, I have all the elites.
Perfect. That's really all that matters. The other ones you'll get over time because they're free. Okay, so what we want to try to do now, I kind of want to know here, and this may be a little bit personal, but how much do you spend on the game approximately?
I think it's maybe 1,000 gold per week.
Okay, cool. So knowing that, our biggest question is going to be, have you decided to focus yet? At 50 million, you're not really, you're still kind of growing and learning the game. You might not have decided to focus yet, but have you decided what main you want to do?
Yes. Early on in the game, I chose infantry.
Okay.
But for some reasons, I changed it to ranged.
Okay.
So now I'm putting everything on my ranged.
Okay. Perfect. Which is totally fine. The game kind of wants you to be infantry, so starting off infantry isn't a bad thing, and it does give you a lot to choose from. The problem, I will warn you, the problem with being a range main is the simple fact that range is typically more expensive, right? So you have to kind of open up your pocketbook a little bit to be a good range main. It's not nearly as dominated by money anymore in that sense, like before, because we have the ability of selecting heroes now, right? Like you can select your heroes at TC, you can select what heroes you want for your roulette wheel and stuff like that. Well, that's fairly new. That's only been around for the last year and a half. So previous to that, you had to wait for TC, you had to wait for events to get the heroes that you wanted. Now you have a choice. So now it's a little bit cheaper to get access to those heroes. But the problem is, especially as a range main, those heroes are kind of important to have the newest and best ones. Like Julia is good. I'll give you an example. Julia and Lewis are both good, right? They're decent. Do you have Julia there? What is your Julia at, if you don't mind me asking?
I mean, I'm still working on her.
Yeah,
but,
sure. What's the one that you have closest to Awakened?
It's Luis, because
Okay.
it was the first hero that I got, so I'm putting everything on him. But that's another question I have, because I only have one skill left to
Sure.
awaken him. So the question is, should I continue with Luis, or should I spend my shards on Julia instead?
So this is going to be a personal question, in the sense that like it's entirely up to your personal playstyle, and I'll tell you why. Okay, I can't read that, so don't worry. So, so it's gonna come down to your playstyle. So what I mean by that is that Lewis is very much like Lewis has a little bit of flexibility. He can kind of go in a lot of different places, but he obviously focuses on mostly garrison work, right? That's where he does most of his stuff. You can use him in the field, though he is slow. You can use him in rallies because he has AoE. So there's strategic ways to play with him, which is fine. But obviously he shines in garrison. So as a range main, having him awakened anyways is going to be good, because worst case scenario, you can always put him on your wall and always have yourself a nice garrison set up at home. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
The problem is the way that this game has been showing when it comes to new heroes coming out. The new heroes are very, very, very overpowered by comparison to the old ones. So if you don't get a hero awakened by the time your new heroes come out, they're not going to be near as relevant. So if you look at Julia, for example, click over to Julia, for example, 5211, right? So she's a long way from being awakened, correct?
Yeah.
Go down to Sophie.
Yeah, it's the same.
You're better putting your stuff into Sophie than you would be putting it into Julia, because Sophie is a much better overall hero than Julia is. Julia was good when she was really the only choice and when silence really mattered. But the game right now is focused a lot on skill damage, a lot on AoE damage, a lot on stacking damage, things like that. And Sophie does that really, really well, especially out in the field. Now, let me ask you another question. In your alliance, are you one of the main rally or garrison players? Like, are you focusing on building a rally account or a garrison account? Or do you want to build field fighting?
No, I'm gonna build field fighting.
Okay. So so understanding that, then we also want to look at what those heroes will do better at. And Sophie does amazing in the field. That's where she wants to be. I'm not saying that Julia doesn't do good in the field, but when you look at a comparison of Julia versus Sophie, Sophie just outshines Julia in almost every aspect. She puts out way more damage. She's got more survivability. She's got more synergy with a lot of the other heroes. You look at, you can even pair her with Lewis on garrison if you needed to. So there's tons of flexibility inside of that. Okay? So unfortunately in this situation, I would say forget Julia, right? Or level her up, like don't have it as a focus. Maybe put 5 fragments a week into her.
Okay.
But put the majority of your fragments into Sophie. Or if you're looking at doing field fighting, I would say screw it all, save it all, and get Spectra that's coming out here right away. Because Spectra is a specific field fighting hero.
Yeah.
She is specific to fighting in fields, flanking targets, doing damage that way. And unfortunately, sorry, go ahead.
But then I need to pair like Sophie or a Spectra with someone. Like, do you think they will be a good match?
You can still put, you can still put Spectra with Lewis, for example. You can put Spectra with Sophie. Like, Sophie is going to be a good choice for the next 6 months to a year anyways.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So putting shards into Sophie right now wouldn't be a bad thing. Right? I'm just saying you want to kind of be thinking about the future. You want to think about the next set of heroes. So in my advice, I'm always saving up all of my fragments until I have 690 so that I can awaken a hero right when they drop. Right?
Okay.
because the newest heroes will always be the best heroes. Like almost guaranteed. I have yet to find a new hero drop that isn't way better than the previous ones. And they kind of become dominant in the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But what do you think about Ethan? I mean, I still have him at level 42, but is it worth to spend anything on him? Like changing, maybe like investing more on Sophie and Ethan?
So here becomes the question. Super weapon heroes are absolutely better. They are absolutely much, much better. But they are so incredibly expensive to level up, because in order for them to actually be better, you need to upgrade their super weapon, and you need to upgrade and transcend their skills. And in order to do their super weapon, I believe the super weapon is a total of 500 and something cores. So you need 500 and something cores to upgrade their super weapon fully. And you need another 600 fragments to upgrade their skills.
Yeah, then it's going to take a long time.
Or
a lot of money.
Exactly. And Ethan, although has benefit in both rallies and garrisons, he really doesn't shine in the field. And unless you're building your account to be a garrison main, in my opinion, there's really no benefit to having him and investing in him. I would much rather, especially if what you're doing is looking to build a field fighting team, right?
Yeah.
If you're looking to build a field fighting, a field fighting account, then you want Sophie, you want Jack Bronte, you want Spectra that's coming out, you want Lynn, right? That right there is your main 4 line.
Okay.
Right? Julia had her time. I don't think she has it anymore because she's slow in the field, especially for field fighting. She's slow in the field. She doesn't really have the HP and defense that you need now, right? And I'll give you a prime example. Just look at Ethan's skills and look at the amount of the amount of attack, defense, and HP that he provides. 42% attack. 36% HP. 38% defense. So these stats that he's providing is ridiculous. Now go look at Julia and let's run through some of hers and see what she's providing. 20%, 20%. So half as much.
Yeah.
Yes, she's providing some HP, right? 40% HP is good, but 20% attack, 20% defense. These aren't as big. Look at her damage on her rage skill. Go to her rage skill, for example. Her rage skill used to hit really hard. It's only 12,500. Go look at Sophie. Hers is 13,500 plus her AoE damage. Plus her rage is only at 900 versus Julia's being at 1,000.
Sorry to interrupt you. What do you mean by AoE damage? What's that?
So AoE stands for area of effect. So if you look at hers, for example, she deals damage to one target. You read this, it says deals damage to the current target. And then increases the skill damage received by nearby enemies up to 3 enemies by 6% for 3 seconds, or up to 20%. So she's going to hit one target and then have an area of effect that's going to debuff nearby enemies, right? But if you look at, I think it's her third skill, right here. When using rage skills with charge, consumes charge to deal damage to up to 3 squads in a circular area. That circular area is what you call area of effect. So it's not a single target, it's affecting a whole area. Multiple targets. So she's punching 3 additional targets in the face for upwards of an additional 7,850 damage. You stack that with her skill damage at 1,350, and you can see why she does, twice as much damage as Julia?
That's crazy.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's an absolute benefit to looking at focusing on Sophie, especially over Julia. Even though your Julia is closer to being awakened, she's really only about halfway. And less than that, because the last 4 skills, like 5-5-5-1, I believe, is halfway.
Yeah, I think my Julia, 5-2-1-1. But I think the closest one I have is still Louis. I have 5-5-5-4, but
So go to
maybe
click
it
on
was a
skill for a
mistake.
second. I want to see how close you are to actually transcending him. What do you have in his? So click on skills for a second. So really, you're only looking at 75 more frags to fully transcend Lewis, and that would be a 75 fragments that I would suggest doing for sure.
Okay, so you suggest I work on him and then go to Sophie.
That's right. Yeah, I would suggest finishing Lewis first because he's very close and he still has benefit. You can still use him in the field with Sophie, even though he's a little bit slower. He'll still provide a lot of AoE because his main skill is AoE damage. So you'll provide a lot more like clearing capabilities in the field, right? Dealing more damage to more troops. And although he's slow, he doesn't provide any movement speed. He still hits pretty hard. So, pairing him and Sophie together is still not a bad choice.
But the other thing is, does it matter which one I put as leader?
Yes.
Because they both, their skills will be both effective, right?
Yes, but the difference is only one of them has their skill or their talent trees. So if you click on your hero talents for a second. So this hero talent tree is only triggered by the leading hero of your march.
Okay.
And theoretically, you should have a different talent tree on Lewis. Because Lewis is your garrison captain. For now. So if I were you, I would switch it to make sure that he's a garrison captain. And right now what you have him on is more of a skill or more of a leading, more of a field fighting type thing.
Okay.
But here's the thing. You can set his as a garrison captain set. Put Sophie as your leading set. Right? Make Sophie your leading. Okay. Make Sophie your leader with the skills tree and the range squad tree. And then you can always switch to Lewis leading if you need him on defense and garrison. And then you'll be able to take advantage of his talent tree that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
So it's only the leader that matters what their skill tree or their talent trees are.
Okay.
So if you back out of here, we're going to talk a little bit about hero setups. So especially as your account is on the smaller side and we're building it up, right?
Yeah.
We want to think, especially now, about being as efficient as we can, especially knowing that you only have 800,000 troops overall, right? 900,000 troops overall, right?
Yeah.
We want to be kind of as efficient as we can. Just give me 1 second. What medicine? There's no medicine for vomiting. You just got to feel better. Just go out, lay down, have a sleep. The best way if you're feeling sick is to sleep. Sorry, buddy. Son's not feeling good. Okay, so we want to be kind of as clever as we can about troops. And we want to be as efficient as we can with marches. Because here's the honest to God truth. The most expensive way to try to play this game is to play with 5 marches in the field across 3 different troop types. Okay?
Yeah, that's something that I learned while playing. Now I'm trying to focus only in one squad.
Okay, so that's what we're going to want to do. So let's back out of here and let's look at doing some marches for you. Let's set up some marches for you so that you have the best kind of setup that we can get out of the rallies, the march sets that you have, and give you some ideas on what you should be planning for moving forward. So create squad. Let's look at what you have saved already.
I have this one. And the rest, actually, I haven't worked that much on them. No, it's only zombie killing.
Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to delete all the ones that you have saved. Click the file folder, click the little settings, and then delete all the ones you have saved. We are going to give you a whole new workup. You've already done the farming ones. Good.
Yeah, thanks to one of your videos, actually. I just copied them.
That's perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. And I assume that you have it on wood, food, steel, and oil.
Yeah, yeah. And then, but even here for the gatherers, I have some questions because sometimes I want to collect more than maybe I want to send 2 or 3 squads to gather food or
Sure.
wood.
Sure. I just
Yeah.
did a farming tips and tricks video that just went live today. But
Okay.
I'll give you a tip on how to do that if you want to take like your steel and you want to farm food with your steel node, or you want to farm food with your oil one, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll show you how to do that. So
Yes. Great.
we'll talk that in a second. Let's go back to your other ones. We'll save those ones. Those are fine. You can get rid of the blue ones too, just to kind of clear up everything you have. Sorry, we got flies around this time of year, so I've been battling them like crazy. That's what happens when you raise goats, right? We've got about 30 goats in the farm here, and they kind of free walk the yard.
Oh, nice. That's a dream.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. Okay, so first ones, what we want to focus on is realizing you are a range main, correct?
That is correct.
So we will not be doing any rider or infantry marches that you will be fighting in the field. We will simply do infantry and rider marches so that you can join garrisons and rallies quickly.
That is correct.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at your best ranged march. So click on Cynthia. And let's put Lewis in currently because he's currently your best one and he has them statted out. Now let's clear the list and put in all elite heart piercers. For your secondary hero, let's put Julia in for right now. Just because you got her skill fully leveled up, her damage skill fully leveled up, versus Sophie is only being a level 1, so even her damage won't be good.
It makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to save that. Now go to your beast.
Oh, sorry. Oh, should I quit here? Like, should I go to the beast app?
Yeah, we'll take a look at beasts after.
So I go back. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. We'll look at beasts after. You can re-equip your beasts and stuff after. But this is effectively going to be your best line. Don't worry about saving a beast, actually. I was thinking about it now because we're going to change your beast, so you'll have to come back and change it and add it later.
Okay, yeah.
So your number 1 is going to be your main fighting line. Okay?
Yeah.
Like we've mentioned, you're going to focus on getting Lewis finished, and then you're going to focus on Sophie. Once you get your Sophie, her first skill, which you should have her rage skill, level 5, you're going to swap her out into Julia's space right away. So then you'll be leading with Lewis, and then you'll be co-leading with Sophie. Okay?
Yes. And once I awaken her, like Sophie, should I change them? Yeah, you said I should switch them. Then Sophie will be the leader, and Lewis will be the support.
Truth is, as soon as you get Sophie's first skill to level 5, as soon as you get her rage skill to level 5, you're going to lead with Sophie. You're going to lead with Sophie with put Lewis as your secondary.
Okay.
Because it doesn't matter. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter if Lewis is co-leading. The difference is you want to take advantage of Sophie's rage skill being a lower skill count. Her skill count is 900. Lewis is 1,000. Which means that Sophie's rage skill will trigger more often. Which means that that's going to trigger Lewis's skill more often. You see what I'm saying?
Kind of, because I don't understand the meaning of like triggering the...
Triggering rage?
Yeah, like...
Okay. Click on the first skill for Lewis.
How do you see it? Here.
Okay. You see how it says rage required 1,000?
Yes.
Okay. That means that you need, just like it says, 1,000 rage to trigger your skill. But that's based on...
1,000 damage.
No. 1,000 rage. And you're generating rage every second in battle. Okay?
Okay.
And so when you're in battle, you see those little white bubbles? along the
Yeah,
side of the.
yeah.
That's your rage. That's your rage meter. So every time that
Okay,
fills
I
up,
didn't know.
yeah, every time that fills up, it's going to trigger your rage skill.
Okay.
But the rage skill will trigger on the leader's rage requirement. So if you put Sophie in first, because her rage skill is only 900 trigger rate, right?
Yeah.
It's going to trigger 10% faster. And then Lewis's skill will trigger 10% faster because it's also tied to her rage requirement skill at 900. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the leader's rage requirement skill. And Lewis provides, when you awaken him, go to him for a second. When you awaken him, provides, deals additional damage. Go up for a second. I want to see if it's the awakening that does it or not. Okay, so no, it's not that. So it might be his third skill or his fourth skill. Check his fourth. There you go. Yeah. So he gains additional 18 rage when using basic attacks. So every basic attack he uses, he generates an additional. Once you have him awaken, 25 rage. So he generates rage faster. And you'll still get that with him being a co-leader. But then you take advantage of Sophie's reduced rage skill cost. You see how it starts to stack better, right?
Yes. Yes.
So as soon as you get
Actually, I
Sophie,
didn't know the meaning of like all of these words, like terms. I was like, yeah, I mean, it sounds good. The higher the number, the better it is. But I didn't understand them until you explained.
well, like I said, that's this game. Believe it or not, for as it being a mobile game, has a ton of context, has a ton of nuance, and a ton of like mechanics that are kind of undescribed or unexplained. And it's the same even with honing. Like we'll talk armaments and we'll talk honing and stuff like that. And I'll give you some tips on which hones to focus on and things like that, and how the hones work. Because I can guarantee you probably have a misunderstanding on how hones work as well, and how armaments work and stuff. Most people do, so don't feel bad. Like I said, most people do.
Yeah.
So. Again, so step 1, you're going to finish off Lewis. Step 2, you're going to turn your attention to Sophie once her rage skill is level 5. Then you're going to start leading with her. Okay?
Yes.
Now, I also notice you have armaments on a lot of heroes. So let's go ahead and take off all of your armaments off of all of your heroes.
All of them.
Yep, all of them.
All right.
Do you have any on Julia?
No, I shouldn't have. No, I
Okay.
don't have on there. And then I think I have on.
Unequip. If you go and sort your list by might, it'll bring typically all the ones that have armaments to the top.
Yeah.
Or closer to the top, anyway.
Nothing on this one. I think that's it.
Just double check. I always find one or two stupid ones on people that shouldn't have them as you're going down the list.
The thing is, I almost sold like all of my greens and blues.
Good.
Yeah, again, learn it from one of your videos. But yeah, now it should be correct.
Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is go to our first leading hero, which is Lewis, and let's go ahead and equip him. Now, we can quick equip, but let's not do that. Let's go through one at a time and make sure that we're putting the right ones on him.
Yeah.
So go through your helmet. In this situation, I would equip the Superb.
Yeah, the thing is, I just got it today or yesterday, and I haven't honed it yet. That's one question. Because this helmet I have already honed it. So I don't know if it's better to put this one because I have some squad defense and lethality, and this one is just fresh.
So the difference is, man, this fly is not leaving me alone. The difference is, if you look at the one that you have, the first one, yes, it's technically a little bit stronger, right? Because you do have squad defense and squad lethality. The difference is the Superb is bringing an additional basic attribute in squad defense, which you're getting right there, So you don't really need it on the other hat because you have it. But you're getting squad damage reduction, which is better than the other hat that's bringing, I can't remember exactly what base stat. Click on the other hat for me. Counter damage taken. So that one's okay, but the squad damage reduction is better. And you're getting squad defense, right? Instead of 1.8 on the other one, you're getting 1.4 on this one. So it's still pretty good in comparison. And although you haven't honed it yet, those are easy ones to hone. You could hone those with your basic honing attributes and still get gold hones on there. You see what I'm saying? So you can hone those ones anytime.
Okay. Yes.
So equip the range shooter.
The only concern I have is like upgrading the superb armament. For me, it's way harder.
Sure.
And it takes more time than just getting the legendary ones, the normal ones.
Of course. And you will switch them off based on what your best is at the time. So once you upgrade your other hat, right? Once you get another copy of another hat, or another couple of copies of that Falcon windproof cap, you can absolutely swap it over. But remember, we're looking at what we're doing because we're setting up one march at a time. Right?
Yes.
We're still going to work on a legendary set. There's nothing wrong with working on another set or two, depending on how many troops you have and marches you want to inevitably fight with. But we're looking at doing one at a time, right?
Yeah.
So we're always going to be looking at doing what's the best that you can do at the time. And you will never go wrong putting hones in your superbs because your superbs will always be your best set. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So like,
but what you suggest is like I use this one, the superb one, and whenever I got another pair of this one, and whenever I upgraded it, then I can shift.
Yes, exactly. Use the superb for now, because and put hones into the superb for now, because not only will those hones still benefit you, but you still need like a level 2 or level 3 hat to make it any better because you're getting that additional buff. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. But then another question is like, because you talked about like honing them, should I hone them now or should I wait for the event?
So
because the blue...
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like, because the blue honing elements, I don't think they count in the events, right?
Oh, they do count in the event, but they don't count for very much. They don't count in the. They don't count. Let me rephrase. They do not count in the honing event. They do count in Top Commander, but they don't count for a lot of points in Top Commander. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So if you're focusing on saving them for Top Commander, because Top Commander is a priority, which it can be, just realize that you have to save up a lot of those regular hones for them to have any value. So in my opinion, I just use them. I don't normally sit on very many of them because they're not worth very much. And I'm going to use those hones specifically on, like those blue hones, I'm going to use specifically in 2 places. One, to get rid of either of these green hones that you have on your legendary gear, or 2, into your farming equipment, which we'll go over here as well. Into your farming armaments, because there are specific farming armaments you want to equip as well. But again, my advice on those, you can use those blue hones. You can use them anytime. They're not really worth a lot in TC, and they're nothing in the honing event, so it's not a big deal. But obviously, save your rare hones.
Okay.
So let's go to the gun. Equip that one. Let's go to your boots.
Should I? Because I think this one I have honed it a little bit, but not the other one.
Yeah, attack. In my opinion, attack is better on range than defense. So I'm good with that choice as well. But of course, same thing. Once you get another pair of boots, or once you get a different pair of boots, once you start to level one up, kind of focus on those ones and kind of go from there.
Yes.
Go to your pants.
Sure.
Equip those. Backpack. Again, I prefer attack over defense.
Yeah, then I use this one. I don't think I have worked anything. No, I haven't.
Yeah. But again, this is where the personal preference. If you prefer defense, if you need your guys to be a little bit tankier, you can work on the defensive backpack instead, right? That's where a lot of that personal preference come in.
Yeah.
Also, depending on what your attributes are. If you have a lot of attack, it might not be beneficial to stack more attack. It might be beneficial to stack defense instead, right? Diminishing returns
Correct.
and all. Kate, go to your chest plate.
Yeah.
Equip that one for now because it's the best you have.
Yeah.
Go to your devices. Equip that one and your purifier mask.
Purifier. Yeah, this one.
Yep. All right, now back out. Back out again. That's your top hero right now, currently. And that would be that's what I would suggest would be your best setup for that. I mean, you can obviously change if you want the extra 50 might to make it look better. You can change your helmet, but I think that's probably your better setup than what you have right now. Because like I said, once you have those couple of hones changed on those ones, you'll be flying pretty in regards to that. But here's my advice. Put all of your resources into this one march. Into one march at a time. You want to make sure that your march, like this march, should be at 3 million minimum before you start working on another set of armaments. Okay. So I wouldn't equip Julia. I wouldn't equip like any other, right? Even though you have a couple other sets, like you have a couple of other pieces, you can go ahead and put them on Julia, but that's just it's just inflating your might. So it's not really doing anything for you. And
yeah, because even the armaments, they only work on the leader, right?
That's correct. They only work on the leader. They don't work on the co-lead. Okay?
Okay.
So although you can equip them so that you can kind of have a better idea, like I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bad idea to equip them just so that you know which ones you're keeping, because there's a lot you'll end up dismantling. Just realize that just becomes extra might. When you equip them, it just becomes extra might. So I always suggest kind of equipping only the ones that you need the most. However, because we want to look at being efficient with our resources, and we want to work as hard as we can at getting those legendary fragments and building up those armaments, we want to look at the easiest ways to get those fragments and armaments, which, truth be told, is in the armament store. Do you go to the armament store very often?
Yeah, I mean, I just go and buy some honing chips. That's what I usually do.
Okay, so honing chips are a great idea. In fact, they're probably your best bet. If you're going to get anything, honing chips are going to be super important. Sorry, I just had a cat jump up on my shoulder. Honing chips are important, as well as the choice fragment boxes at the very top every week.
Yeah.
So you want to try to clear this out every week, but the only way to do that is to break down armaments that you're not using, to give you the nuts and bolts that you need to change these parts in. And so we're going to give you a ton of extra ones to choose from to give you that capability, okay?
It sounds great. The only thing is, like, when I was doing it, like, I was putting up another march with Rai Guru and Miyamoto.
Mm-hmm.
And on this one, I have loads of, because I spent all of my purple ones for the infantry. I don't know if it's a good idea or should I just skip them like completely, because it's not my main line.
So here's my advice, and especially as a younger player, this might suit you better because you still spend a decent amount. Like you're still a small spender, but like I would consider you at that amount. I would still consider you a small spender, but like a smart spender, because you can still get a long way on that.
Okay.
But I'm going to break this down for you very quickly. Your purples are irrelevant. They are irrelevant. Let me take a look at your alliance for a second. Back out for a second. Let me take a look at your alliance. So click on the alliance button. I want to see what your might and stuff is. So your alliance might 2.6.
Oh, you mean for the members?
Yeah. Alliance might 2.6. Kate, what's your R4s looking like? 90 million is on your top right now. 172 million. So you have a couple of people that are up there. So, and as tier 4 in an alliance of this size, a lot of what you're going to be doing, unfortunately, is filling rallies, filling garrisons, things like that, and helping support in the field to the actual other fighters, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're not going out with 5 as yourself and dominating the field. That's just not happening, right? So we want to look at what's going to be the most effective and efficient use of those resources. So what I would do is I would go to your infantry, and I would go to your best infantry hero or your top infantry hero, and I wouldn't make that Raigoro. I would make it someone fast like Miyamoto.
Yeah, I haven't worked on him that much.
Or a Dut. Do you have a Dut?
No, I don't have her.
You don't have her at all. Okay, you know what? Screw it. Put on Raigoro. It doesn't matter. Like I said, this is going to be, unless your Miyamoto is fast, it doesn't really matter. You're going to be walking slow anyways to help. What I want you to equip in his armaments, go to his armaments. I want you to equip any superbs that you may have gotten, luckily.
I have nothing. I only have the purple ones.
No
because
superbs
I put
for you,
everything.
eh?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I only have the elite ones.
So that's perfect. That means that we're not going to equip anything on him. Because when you send troops to a rally or garrison, your armaments are irrelevant. Did you know that?
No, because I thought maybe like this one, like the gun, like the shotgun, it says rally attack. So it doesn't count like if I rally with Raigoro.
If you start a rally with Raigoro, if you are the leader of that rally, then yes, it will affect. But if you are sending your troops to somebody else who has started a rally, it's their hero and their armaments that deal all the difference. All that you are providing is troops. You could send gathering heroes. All you're sending is
really?
troops. Yes, 100%. So the armaments do not matter unless you are the leader of that rally or the leader of that garrison. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Most people don't.
So
they think that they're uniform, but that's just not the way it works.
Okay, so heroes, it doesn't matter at all.
Nope.
It's only the troop type that matters.
Exactly. When you're joining rallies and garrisons, the only thing that you are doing is adding to the troop count. You aren't adding beasts. Okay. You aren't adding heroes. You aren't adding armaments. You aren't adding attributes. You are adding troops. That's it.
Okay.
Which means if you have your hero, if you have your infantry hero, and you aren't fighting in the field with him, guess what you do not have to have him with?
Armaments.
Exactly. So we're not going to put any armaments on him. Back out, go to your top rider hero.
Oh, that's, I don't think I have any. Cynthia,
good enough. This is just a placeholder because there is an eventual time in the future when you will need armaments on your infantry and riders, right? You will eventually get strong enough where you'll be fighting on all three types, but just not right now. So there's no sense in not working on the ones that we can if we have. So let's click on her armaments. Do you have any superbs for riders?
No, I have nothing.
Perfect.
So then, all of them. Yeah.
So then we don't have to. Then we don't have to do those either. And the only armaments I would look at keeping for your riders or your ranged are any superbs that you're lucky to get. Do you see what I'm saying?
Not even the legendary ones.
No, I wouldn't put legendaries because you're never going to use them.
No, I was thinking maybe in the future.
No, but even in the future, you're only going to ever really fight. If you're a range main, you are only going to ever, even as a range main, only going to ever really fight with one infantry, one rider, and probably 3 ranged. But by that time, right, you'll have superbs to fill in. If as your superbs grow naturally, because you're going to get frags for them, right? You will naturally collect them Yes, it's a slow, arduous process. But again, we're talking a long time before you're fighting with ranged and infantry in the field. Until then, all of your infantry and ranged or infantry riders are going to be based on other people's heroes, armaments, and attributes. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, what I suggest is keeping all you superbs for your ranged or for your riders and your infantry, only superbs, and then demolishing the rest. And the only purples I would suggest keeping are your farming purples. The purples that we will put on your farming heroes. Which, let's do that now. Let's go to because we've already done our ranged main hero, right? We've done, did you put any on Julia? Go to Julia for a second. Let's actually equip her with the extra ones that you have just to make sure that they're out of the list.
I don't know which one to choose. This one I have worked a little bit with it because this one has counter damage, but this one has defense.
So when it comes to the hat, I'm going to tell you the one that does counter damage, in my opinion, is the weakest one. Because there's three forms of damage, okay? There's basic attack damage, counter damage, and skill damage. Basic attack damage, when you attack someone, you deal basic attack damage. They deal counter damage. Okay? When you're attacking each other, you both deal basic attack damage, you both deal counter damage, you both deal skill damage. If I'm attacking you as you're running away, I'm dealing basic attack damage. I'm getting counter damage taken. I'm dealing counter damage. You see what I'm saying? So you're dealing counter damage, but you're not dealing basic attack damage. So the only time you're dealing counter damage or being dealt counter damage is if you're attacking someone and they're hitting back. And that's only one source. So if I'm on a garrison, for example, or if I'm getting swarmed in the field, I'm only getting counter damage from one source. The source that I'm dealing basic attack damage to.
Yeah.
So the amount of counter damage that you're taking is not really reducing as much as if you increase your defense, which is technically going to reduce damage on counter damage, on basic attack damage, and on skill damage. Just a little less of each.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Sense. Yeah.
So in my opinion, defense is better than counter damage taken. But again, that's also going to depend on diminishing returns. If you stacked a whole shit ton load of defense, adding an extra 3% defense might not be nearly as beneficial as taking off 6% counter damage, right? But that's later game systems once we have that kind of thought process going down, once you have options. So I would focus on working on your Windtrekker hood over the camo hat.
Yep.
Okay. So now let's go to a gun. Do you have an extra gun for her? Nope. Don't equip the elite because you don't need it. Equip those boots. Nope. Yes. And then device. Perfect. So now you're technically working on a second set for another hero.
Yes.
As you get these extra legendaries that you can fit in these slots that you don't need on Lewis, right? You can start to casually work on this set and let it grow naturally too. So let's back out and let's go do our farming. We've done all of our major troop types, saving all of the major armaments that we need to. Let's go to our farmers. First farmer is Sarah Vandermeer. Mrs. Food Farmer. Now, food is going to get boots.
Oh, sorry. Boots.
Which you don't have, which is fine. It's the rubber boots. We'll look at the armaments and I'll show you which ones you'll get in a second. So you're going to want to give her boots to level 5. Do you have a shovel? It's in the gun section.
Is it?
Nope, you don't. That's fine. Do you go to your backpacks? You don't put on the strap case. We're going to save that for a different one. Go to your pants. Okay, so this will be really easy. We're gonna go to your back out of here and go to your farming, your wood leader guy, because you don't have anything to put on here. But go to your wood leader, Jeremy,
I have to think, Jeremy.
guy with the blue hood.
Yeah, here.
Put on your backpack. Nope. Strap case.
This one.
Yep. So the strap case provides wood gathering speed and squad load. So automatically he's going to be gathering wood. Put your wood gathering speed on him. And then focus on getting that to level 5 for him.
Yes.
Okay. Back out. Now you don't have any of the other gathering armaments, but go to your bag for a second. I want to see what armament, like, do you have any armament fragments in your bag? No, in your bag. In your bag. No, you don't have any fragment pieces. That's fine. That's fine. So like I said, I just did a video on this, so we can run through each one and what you want to put on each one. But there's a very specific gathering set for each gathering hero, because you want to use the most amount of, you want to bump the most amount of gathering speed and squad load, but you don't want to overdo it with other armaments. Like, we can go ahead, if you see the axe, for example, that's right there on their screen. You can technically put the sawtooth axe on one of your gatherers, and you can technically hone in other attributes like gathering speed, squad loads, travel speed, things like that if you wanted to. But let me ask you a legitimate question. Does it make sense to have the extra weight when you're not going to be using half of the attributes, the basic attributes that the weapon was designed for?
No. But I think it's like with these ones, I use them technically on my zombie heroes.
Do you still have problems with zombies?
No, not really. The only thing I use is like the experience points. That's like this one.
We'll set up your zombie line so that your zombie heroes themselves will naturally provide bonus experience, so you don't have to worry about that. Because again, every little armament that you put on or have in your bag is adding to your might and adding to your battle rating. Do you know what your battle rating is?
No.
Okay.
I don't.
So this is how the game does matchmaking. It's first going to match you in the war zone, and it uses your alliance might to determine your war zone. And that's going to be elite, or fearless, elite, or apex. Okay?
Yeah.
Once you're in that war zone, and once registration is complete, it's going to use your battle rating to determine your matchmaking inside of that war zone. And your battle rating includes much more than just your might. Your battle rating is a number that is equated not only on your might, on your troop count, on your armaments in your bag that are equipped and not equipped. It also includes things like how often you sign in, how often you play, how often you do your daily missions, even your win-loss rating, all goes into your match rating. So the more armaments... Sorry, go ahead.
But can we see that number? Like the battle rating?
No.
Can I see it by myself? Like, where is it?
Technically, yes, but only during Pompeii.
Okay.
So during Pompeii, when you register, it uses battle rating as well. So you can see what your battle rating is during Pompeii, during the registration process of Pompeii.
Right. But then it's important, like all of us, like all of the team members do the same thing. Because even if I only do it and the rest of the members, they miss it, then technically they just increase the unnecessary might.
Yep.
Right?
Welcome to the wonderful world of finding the right alliance that is already doing the things that you need to be done.
But then it means more knowledge.
Of course. Yeah. Like I said, this is a game that is full of context and nuance. And it is entirely about everybody being as efficient together as possible. And that's one of the things that we pride ourselves on at Grow Up. At the Grow Up is, we focus on keeping might limited so that we can fight higher. Like I only have a 4.5 million Boyd, right? 4.6 million Boyd. And I'm only 180 million might. But I can stand up to some 250 million, 300 million players because they just have a lot of troops, or they have a lot of armaments, or they have a lot of stuff that they're not using properly, right? So it's better, in my opinion, to keep your might as low as physically possible to make sure that your matchmaking and rating is as good as possible and that you can hit as hard as possible. That's my concept.
Right.
Okay?
But then technically it's just being smart.
Pardon?
It's technically just being more smart about, I
just look
how
at it,
to use the...
I look at it as being efficient with the resources you have. Because here's the thing. If you end up spending a shit ton of the game, if you turn over tomorrow and start spending $1,000 a week, right? Not just 1,000 gold, but like $1,000.
Yeah.
I mean, my advice is going to change drastically because you're going to have much more variety, much more choice, much more abilities and capabilities. We might look at creating 3 different lines for you. But once we justify how much money we spend, we can then clarify what's a better situation for us.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So if all of a sudden next week you start spending more money, well, that gives us more variety, more things to look at, and more focus on it. But being as restrictive and efficient as we can with our resources, especially as low spenders to mid spenders like I am, like I only spend I think $100 to $200 a month, depending, and I consider that still pretty low because the game is expensive. Even in that situation, we want to be as efficient as we can. This is why working on one march at a time, one troop type at a time, one beast set at a time. You know, all these things have value based on what we want to accomplish in the game. Okay? Right. So, again, although you can equip these ones on those heroes, the question is it valuable to do so? And in my opinion, the answer is very clearly no. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Now, this means all of the equipment that you currently have, all the armaments that you currently have that are not equipped, can be dismissed, can be demolished.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's like more a mental thing, to be honest with you.
Sure. And it's hard the first time, or it's hard the first couple of times. But once you start to sit back and get back the benefits of what you're doing, like once you see your Lewis, for example, or once you see your Sophie start leading and you get her to a 2.5 million hero and you can actually start dealing damage in the field and you start to feel effective, all of this is irrelevant. The problem is we feel that these are important to keep because it's hard to get them. So we feel that they're valuable. But I look at it and says, yes, although they have value, the problem is it's unrealized potential. It's value that you're never going to use. And so you can have $1 million in the bank, but if you don't have access to that bank, right? If you're under 18 and you can only get access to it when you're 18, how good is it when you're 16? Fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Same concept.
Yeah.
So even the hat that you have there, you can get rid of.
Yeah, the only reason is still the zombie killing experience points, like 7%. And at my level, like I use them, because it's free experience points.
Sure. Do you know how much experience you're talking about?
Not really. I know, like, what's his name? Like Martin. Martin and the other one, like Colonel something.
Let's break this down for you a little bit. Let's go to one of your heroes. Back out for a second. Don't demolish any of these. We can dismantle them later.
Okay. This one. Oh, Captain Russell.
Yeah, go. Totally fine. Click on Russell. He provides bonus experience, right?
Yeah, I don't know which.
Go to the level up. You see how much experience it needs to level him up?
Yeah.
Okay, 2.39 million, right? And this is at level 40. Do you go to Jaden, for example? 3.1 million experience to level them up. The next ones, right? 3.1 million. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Go kill a zombie with Martin and Captain Russell.
Like now? Or?
Yeah.
I take that. This one, which is closest one.
And it's a 40. Perfect. You can use a multiplier if you want. I don't care. Just use 1. You just use 5. Doesn't matter.
You said Jaden and...
No. Martin. Martin and Captain Russell.
Yeah.
Remember, 3.1 million experience to level up a hero.
Yeah. The thing is, I technically didn't spend that much. Like, I didn't put anything on them. They just grew up like organically.
Yeah, 100%. And you're going to have them grow up organically. That's not the question. The question becomes, how beneficial is that bonus experience that you're getting, the extra 7% experience?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because when you see how little experience you get from killing zombies, you realize how many zombies you actually have to kill to level up heroes. You'll realize you will never use zombies to level up your heroes. It's a good way to get your heroes to like level 20 or level 30, something like that. Like it's a fine way to level them up at the beginning. But you're never going to use zombies as a way to fully level a hero. You're never going to use zombies to do any of that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's just the value is not there. Right? Not only does it take time, but it takes troops, it takes resources. Right? It's a whole bunch of value that we're not taking advantage when we can use the bolts from those armaments to break them down to increase our fighting squad that we need.
Right.
Which will give us which gives us more experience manuals and rewards, right? Because the more rewards you get, the more experience manuals you get, which is the easier ways to level up your heroes. As soon as this zombie's done, go look at the report. Scroll down.
Yeah.
8,800. That means you have to clear 353 zombies to level up one time. And an extra 10%, we're talking an extra 800 experience. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So unless you're out crushing zombies every single day, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of zombies every day, it's just not worth it. It is not worth it.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I understand.
Okay. So again, you can equip them, but it's extra might, extra battle rating that you're not getting any use from because you can't use those here. You're not going to use Russell and Martin during field fights, right?
Right.
You're only using it to do zombies, so it's a whole chunk of weight and might that you're not going to need. So in my opinion, you get rid of them. Keep them if you want, but in my opinion, get rid of them. Now we can back out here and go back to your armaments.
Yes. Can you just give me a second? I
sure.
have to... This one, and this one. Yeah, I'm just changing the room. Yeah, sorry. Now I'm back.
Cool. Just give me 1 second. I actually have to do one quick thing. Zoe, come here, please. I need you to do a check on tank. Because you're here and I'm asking you to. Thank you. Huh? No, I'm busy. I'm recording a video. Sorry. Okay, so now we can back out.
Then I got the bag. And then armaments.
And And from here, all of the armaments that are not equipped, except for the except for the range helmet.
Yeah, it should be okay now because I chose the old one.
Go up. You still have the axe you can get rid of. Your legendary axe, yeah, your steel axe.
Oh, yeah.
And look at all those hones you're getting back. Look at all those bolts you're getting.
Yeah, should I? Yeah, just choose this one.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's do it.
Now go to your exchange shop. Now you can buy out your vest frags.
I first buy this one.
Vest frag choice box. Yep. Because you need a vest choice for your hero anyways. Because you don't have one on Lewis yet.
No, you're right. But the question is, can you help me to choose the proper one?
Yep.
I put 10 in here.
So click on the first one. Hold on a second. Is he still there though? Okay. We'll have to deal with it. That's fine. He's still there though? Okay, thank you. Okay, so this is going to come down to a personal question, right? If you're stacking a ton of defense, adding extra defense will have less value. If you have less defense, adding more defense will have more value. Okay? So if we know on Lewis, for example, already that you have done most of what you've done is attack, right? I remember we put our attack stuff on. So
that's right.
Putting defense in your camo ghillie suit wouldn't be a problem. If you go to the other one, the other one is just going to be your basic attack damage taken. Now, basic attack is anytime someone's attacking you, right?
Okay.
So that one is more valuable than counter damage taken, in my opinion, because anytime someone attacks you, they're dealing basic attack damage. The only time you're getting hit with counter damage is when you're attacking one person and you can get hit with counter damage from there. Okay. So this is kind of, in my opinion, is kind of 50-50. Whichever one the game is more likely to give you or whichever one it's giving you more frags of would be the one that I invest in. So right now I would save all 10 of these frags until you get one of those closer to being able to get a copy of. And then whichever one you have, whichever one is closer that you can use the least amount of frags on, that's the one you focus.
Okay. Yes.
Like defense, the way that it works is attack and defense will influence those three types of damage, right? Attack will increase those three types of damage. Defense will decrease those types of damage.
Yeah.
But they decrease them like less than if you're doing the stat individually, right? So a 1.8% range squad defense isn't going to reduce 1.8% off of basic attack. You know, the three of them, it'll maybe equate to like 1%, right?
Right.
Whereas if you do
then I just wait.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe I just wait.
Yeah.
And see
just wait until you see whichever the game gives you more of. Because I mean, even if you put the 10 frags, it's not going to give you a copy now anyways. So there's nothing wrong with keeping those until the game gives you more copies of more frags to choose from, and then you can, make up your mind then. And it really wouldn't be a problem to do the defense one or the counter or the basic attack damage taken. They're both pretty good.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense.
Okay. So now that we've gone through your armaments and your hero sets, there's really only a couple things that we have to talk about to give you a little bit more guidance, and that's going to be beasts and equipment. Equipment is pretty easy. Beasts is pretty in-depth. Which would you like to tackle first?
I would say we can go with uh, beasts, I would say.
Okay, show me your beasts.
Uh,
But I do notice that we are getting around that 1 hour mark, so I do want to make this kind of quick so we're not keeping up too much of your time. I know that they can get
yeah, yeah,
pretty taxing. So
yeah, sure. Before we go to the beasts, I just have a quick question about the
sure,
vehicles.
sure,
Uh, because right now, this is my hub. I'm investing on the ranged only, and
sure.
should I just continue with them, like leveling it up maybe to level 10 or something, and then going to infantry, or should I just go with the range, like all way in?
Good question, and it's actually kind of a nuanced response. So if you click on your light protection, for example, or light fire control, click on one of them that you're working on for your range. Doesn't matter. You'll notice that it provides squad firepower and range squad attack. Right?
Yeah.
Go click on your infantry one. Doesn't matter which infantry one. It's also providing squad protection and infantry squad defense. But that's overall squad protection. So this means every update that you put into infantry or into range or riders is still technically doing benefits to your ranged leaders. So when it comes to the workshop, you kind of want to keep a little bit of balance. It is right to be focusing on your mains, but you don't want to just focus on your mains. And the way that I would suggest doing it is this. Back out for a second so we can see all of your armors. What I would look at doing is getting your main infantry or your main range to level 5.
Okay.
Then get all of the other ones to level 1.
Okay, so the thing that you said, like the squad protection,
Yeah.
it applies to all of the squad types, right?
Right.
It's not only to infantry, because I
Right.
was okay. So I understood it maybe wrong. I thought maybe this one applies only to the infantry.
Most people do. However, if it doesn't state infantry, because if it was infantry squad protection, it would say infantry squad protection. It's the same with hones, because you have two different types of hones. You can have hones that say, infantry squad defense, or hones that say squad defense. And you know what the difference is? One is providing the buff to all of the troops, regardless of their type, and one is providing the buff specific to its troop type.
Okay, got it.
So this way, squad protection, you technically get squad protection off all 6 of your devices that is all beneficial towards your ranged troops. Well, technically it's squad protection of 3 and squad firepower off of 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see how that works now. So you want to kind of... You kind of want to level them up a little bit even. So like I said, I would suggest getting your range to level 5. Then get all of the other 4s to tier 3 level 1.
Yeah.
Then bring your range up to level 10. Bring everything else up to level 5.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
Because the more that you raise your range things, the more expensive it is to raise them up, which means the less value you're getting for the points that you're putting in. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Same idea. So like I said, just kind of stagger it as you're leveling it. But other than that, you're looking good.
Okay. Then I can just go quickly to the, was it the beasts you were talking?
Yeah, let's go to your beasts. You're in horde defense right now.
Oh, I can't. Yeah, that's why I can't choose them.
It won't let you. So let's just go to equipment then. Because we can take a couple minutes and talk about your equipment.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, perfect. The only difference I would say is don't put parts in your ranged or your riders and infantry stuff. Even having green parts doesn't do much for you. Hello? I think it lagged out. I think we lost contact here. 1 second. Uno segundo. Interesting. Might be me? Or that's Lat. Hmm. Hmm. I think he had to disconnect. Just give it a second.
morning, students! Welcome!
Hello?
Now it works again. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I blame Discord.
Yeah, but it should be maybe harder for you to edit the video.
Yeah, whatever. I'll just cut out the chunk in the middle. I know it went wrong, so I can just cut it out. It's no big deal.
Okay, but I don't know. Did you hear me at all? Like when we were talking, because you said let's go to the parts and the equipment, and I went there, and then everything went black.
Yeah, it stopped for me when right when you clicked there, and as soon as I started talking, it went nothing. So I think that's kind of right where we'll just start. Just go to your parts from there.
Okay, let me share the screen again. I was sharing the screen. No? No.
No, you weren't.
Okay. No, and now it should
now
work.
Now you are, yeah.
Perfect.
So what do you think of the new Godzilla and Kong stuff?
I mean, the thing is, I like it, but, I really like the skin, the shelter skin.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that you were saying in your videos, like maybe we shouldn't support them that much because of all of the they kill the healing. That's what I'm. I mean, I spent a little bit on it. No, here I only.
Yeah, I did the same.
Yeah, but I mean, I only got these 2 packs. And more than that, no, I didn't buy any packs.
Yeah, I've done the same thing because unfortunately, it's still a good freaking thing. I can't, I'm struggling not to.
Yeah, I mean, they know how to trick people.
Mm-hmm. They do very well. Okay, let's go to your parts.
Here. So the thing I've done, I technically only focus more on the backpack, the gun, and the helmet.
Perfect. So the only advice I'm going to give you here is to not worry about parts on the other 4. I know that you've got green ones on them.
Yeah.
There's no sense. You might as well just, because I've done all of my infantry. I don't have any on my riders and ranged yet, and I won't do that until I get my white parts.
Yeah, that was a beginner's mistake. I didn't know the difference because I just wanted to spread all of them like equally in all of them. But then one question here, like which one is more, like which one should I focus more? Is it the backpack that I should go or the other 2?
This is going to come down to a couple of questions. So as a ranged main, like if you were an infantry main, I would tell you to focus on your infantry stuff first, because infantry doesn't really give a shit about skill damage. It doesn't do a lot of skill damage. It doesn't really care about squad damage as much because it doesn't really do much. It might care about the squad damage reduction, but increasing your HP and defense, knowing that it's cheaper to do your HP and defense, will give you more infantry. So I wouldn't suggest doing it if you're infantry. If you are a rider main, I would suggest it's kind of a hit and miss whether you want to focus on your backpack or your other 2 mains. If you're a range main, in my opinion, your backpack is almost your most guaranteed part. Just because of the fact that you're providing squad counter damage, basic attack damage overall, so that's for all troop all troop types. Gathering speed, which is super important. But when you start doing your parts, click on your parts for a second. The major parts that you're looking at increasing is skill damage dealt, which is ranged squads bread and butter. Damage overall, again, range is bread and butter. Squad damage reduction, what range needs the most of.
Okay.
So as a range main, I would suggest doing your backpack parts first, just because they do end up having a lot of benefit to your ranged heroes themselves.
Okay. Yeah, the only problem is like I'm kind of, or actually they are very hard. It's very hard to get the parts, both parts and the equipment. And sometimes I have to choose because I usually do the, what do we call it? The weekly event thingy or the daily one, area of Doom. And in the shop here, uh, I go for the honing chips, and these ones. So I don't, because then it will be more focused on the equipment.
So your honing chips are going to be your number one important thing. You should clear out your honing chips every single week, first and foremost.
Okay.
After that, you're going to want to do your carbon steel and your defensive fabric. I'm stuck in a situation where I'm actually running out of defensive fabric, and I can't even finish my last ones because I don't have enough defensive fabric. So you want to get your defensive fabric too.
Okay.
But
so I focus more on that.
But here's the deal. Hold on, because here's the deal. Go back to your Arena of Doom for a second. There are better ways to get carbon steel and defensive fabrics than spending it here, depending on your armaments. Go down for a second. Can you get... Okay, so you can't get the other armaments yet. So yes, in this situation, you're looking at carbon steel and defensive fabric. Honing chips, carbon steel, defensive fabric. Once you start getting the opportunity for your frag choices, your fragment choices, you want honing chips, then your fragment choices, then your carbon steel and your defensive fabric. Okay?
Okay. So first this one, and then one of these two, and then the carbon steel. Yeah.
Okay?
Sure.
So that's what you want to focus on for your arena every single week. That'll give you the best things there. If you spend a little bit, I'll give you an example of a place that you can spend a little bit, and it'll give you some decent returns. Back out for a second. Go to your daily or the special promo. These packs inside of here, the parts contest, the customization contest, the vehicle redesign, the equipment contest, and the mega armament sale.
Yeah.
These 5 are really good value. The armament sale, obviously really good value because you can knock the prices down. The parts contest, really good value for the parts that you're getting. So if you're looking at parts, the vehicle redesign, really good value. Like these are probably the better value ones in the game, for my opinion. Okay. So maybe I should invest it in here, and instead on the area of Doom, I invest more in for the honing chips and what do we call them? The armaments. Mm-hmm. And then, because armaments are super important to your individual marches, they're kind of like the key determining factor in your individual marches, whereas your equipment is not nearly as important as valuable as it used to be. And here's a good way to think about this. The more the game gives you, the less the game gives a shit about that. And it gives us more parts now than ever before. It gives us more splendor, it gives us more steel now than ever before. More of the reinforced steel now than ever before. Because equipment and parts not nearly as influential now in the game as beasts, as armaments, and as vehicles.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay?
Yes. And then one more question about here. Like with the... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
And it's this one, the refining. Should I even focus anything on this one?
100%. Absolutely.
Because when I look at the stats, it's not that's crazy. I mean, this one is like, from 0.5, it increases to 0.7.
Anything you can do to reduce your death rate is important. There's 10 refinement levels to get to. And, right, and... like I said, any reduction in death rate is so massively important. So refining that is super important. Refining your bag, your ranged ones are super important as well. Refining all of them is kind of an even balance to me. They're not kind of, as specific. But especially as a range main, you need that travel speed. You need travel speed.
Yeah.
So
you're right.
A reduction in death rate... Slow. And an increase to your travel speed, even as small as 0.5%, it goes up, and you're looking at an extra, I think, 5% overall when it's at level 10.
Okay, right.
So your backpack's still very important.
Yes.
In my opinion, especially as a range main, it becomes more important. Now, again, that's, other people might tell you differently, but that's just the way that I see it.
Right. And then maybe I can, I think it's only the beast. Yeah, now I can go in it.
Okay. So here's my advice with beasts. Do you understand how beasts work first?
I look at some of your videos, so I try to understand. But the only problem is, because you were talking about combo and crit damage. And that's where you lose me.
Okay, go into your special attributes. So go attributes, special attributes. Okay, so we're going to talk really quickly about beasts and how they work. So beasts deal all their damage inclusively to beasts. Okay? When that beast HP is gone, the damage they deal is converted into troop loss. Okay?
Right.
If your beast dies, it still deals beast damage. Okay?
Even if my beast dies in the battle.
Even if your beast does not have HP, it's still dealing damage. So the HP is simply a shield from incoming additional damage. But even if your beast dies, it's still dealing beast damage.
Right.
Okay. In combat, there are 3 skills. Well, technically 4. Technically 4, I think 4.5, maybe 5 even. Because shield isn't one as well. So technically there's 5. You've got crit, combo, counter, corrode, and shield. Okay? Now the first 3, crit, combo, and counter, are the main ones that we're going to be talking about. These are the ones that every single beast can actually deal. And if you read through the stats and abilities here, you'll notice when these trigger. So, when a biochemical beast deals damage in battle, they may trigger a critical hit based on their crit numbers. So based on their crit. You have 160-something crit, I think. What is it? Close this out real quick. 156 crit?
Yeah.
So 156 crit equates to a 20.6% chance to trigger. So whenever your beast deals damage, there's a 20% chance to deal additional damage, right?
Right.
Which is based on its crit damage bonus. Does that make sense?
And somehow, but because I didn't get to understand. I didn't understand how did you make the 20.6 because you converted to 156 or 160.
That's just
is it the max 900?
That's just the in-game calculations. And unfortunately, the in-game calculations will tell you that the more that you put into that stat, the less value it is. So go to another beast that you have, for example. Do you have any beasts that you've done pristine life and you've done other things too, like upgraded more?
I mean...
look at their potential. Okay, so you don't have the additional stats yet. Is this the strongest beast that you have that you've put the most into?
That is correct.
Okay. So, click on the node that you haven't upgraded yet. I want to see what you're going to be getting from it. I believe it's crit.
Which one?
The potential life that you haven't upgraded yet. The one that looks like a sword. No. You were right. Go to potential. The one that looks like a sword. The circle.
This one.
Nope. Up. Up 4. Yeah, that one. So that one's going to give you crit damage. The one above it is going to give you crit. I believe crit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So these nodes is how you're going to add stat attributes to your beasts. You're going to do stat attributes to your beasts through these nodes as well as chips. They'll provide beast nodes, or they'll provide stats, attributes, as well as your support beast, which will provide inheritance bonus. Okay?
Okay.
But let's break it down so we're making it a lot easier. Back out for a second. Go click on attributes. And then special attributes. So 156 crit equates about a 20% crit rate, 20% chance. Okay?
Okay.
This means the more crit that you put in, the less trigger rate you get. If you were to double that, let's say, for example, you were to put in 300 crit. it would not equate a 41.2% trigger rate. It would equate to like a 37% trigger rate.
Right.
So the more that you stack a stat, the less that stat becomes worth it. So you have to ask yourself a question. What's more valuable? Having a 70% trigger rate for crit, or having crit, combo, and counter trigger rate at, say, 30% each?
Yeah, definitely the second option.
Okay. So, especially as a low spender, my best advice is to balance these skills as much as you can, which you can do through which beasts you pair them with, what chips you pair them with, and what the beast does naturally. So if you look, for example, if I was to show you my hammer pangolin, just back out for a second. Let's see if we can take a look at and do an explanation. Go click on your hammer pangolin. That's the crystal. There you go. The hammer pangolin by itself is going to provide crit and counter. As you level it up, it's going to naturally provide crit, counter, crit damage, counter damage, and then the other stat attributes you will from there. But it's going to naturally provide that within its skills and its abilities. So okay. I can go ahead and put chips on that will still stack more crit and counter. Or what I can do is I can put chips that stack combo. So I put the combo chips on my hammer pangolin, which now provides my hammer pangolin with the capability of dealing crit damage, counter damage, and combo damage every time damage is dealt or every time it's dealt damage.
Okay, got it.
Right?
Yeah. Then technically, when I look at this one, I have a lot of crit damage, but I don't have any combo damage. Then I need to put more combo chips on this one.
So you can either put combo chips, or you can pair him with a beast that will provide combo, like your General Crab provides combo. Any of your water ones will provide combo. And they also provide corrode. Now, corrode is a bonus stat. It's a bonus damage dealing stat, which basically every time a combo is done, there's a % chance to trigger corrode, which is like a damage over time ability. So technically speaking, if you have, with my hammer pangolin, for example, I pair him with my general crab. So now my pangolin does counter, combo, crit, and corrode damage.
Right.
So you can start to stack it that way too. And once you level up your general crab, once you give it attributes, your lead beast will inherit 50% of those attributes. But here's the biggest thing that most people don't realize. When it comes to armaments you do not put on your co-leading hero, correct?
That is correct.
On your co-leading beast, you are going to put chips, though. Because
I still get 50% of them.
Right, because you still get 50% of them.
Right.
So you still want chips on your supporting beasts. But just like armaments, you only really have to focus on your top 10 beasts, because that's what the game gives a shit about. It doesn't. If you have 30 beasts, it's only going to look at your top 10. And you can only really fight with top 10 at a time anyways. So my best advice is look at your top 2 beasts that the game is nice enough to give you. And the easiest way to do that is to disconnect all your beasts, take off all your chips. See what the game is nice enough to have given you your strongest beasts. Use those 2 beasts. Focus on those for the next little while, for the next 3 months. Then, in 3 months, do the same thing. Strip off all your your chips, pardon me. Detach all your beasts. See what the game has given you a lot. See which ones have moved. Work on them from there.
Right.
But in the same breath, you're also only working on how many beasts at a time?
Right.
No. How many beasts are you working on at a time? You, personally?
Right now I'm using everything only on these 2. Like all of my purple ones, like fragments, on this corpse bowl, and all of my legendary ones on the saber-tooth.
And that's totally fine. That's totally acceptable. As a field player, totally understandable. Gives you a lot of play. once you've gotten a set of chips that you like to work on, or any of those types of things, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Only working on those two sets. You only have one fighting march in the field. Only work on, the 2 beasts that you need for that, and the 12 chips that you need for that line. Once you build up your armament set to start a second line, so you can start working on your second set of beasts, same idea. Work on those 2 beasts, right? Well, technically work on those 4 beasts kind of equally, because you want to make sure that your marches are balanced, right?
Right. And one thing about the beasts, like when I rank them up, should I focus more on the just only leveling it up, or even the potential?
So,
like, or all of them?
The potential is going to provide you with the actual attributes that you need. Not the potential, sorry. So the potential and the leveling up is just doing your attack, defense, and HP, your basic stats, which is good.
Okay.
Which is fine, like a level 100 beast, for example, with which fully potential is going to hit pretty hard. But the difference is you don't get the actual attributes until you do pristine life. That's the biggest influence on your beast. So those are the ones that you want to be super, super, super exclusive on. Make sure that you're saving them up and using them specifically on those beasts. Now, there are a couple secrets with beasts that I will tell you about, especially when it comes to if you don't want this beast, for example, if this beast isn't doing it for you and you have a beast that's doing better that you're getting more chips of that you want to use instead. If you dismantle this beast, if you release him, you will get 100% of the pristine life and 100% of the stuff you use to give them that upgrade their potential. And then you get 30% of the experience that you used. So, like something I just did, because I was using my Crystal Pangolin before. My Crystal Pangolin was fully evolved, right? But my Hammer Pangolin just hit level 7 or level 8. I don't remember, one of the two. I think it's level 7. So it's now technically at about the same might as what my Crystal Pangolin was. I just broke down my Crystal Pangolin and put everything into my Hammer Pangolin, so now my Hammer Pangolin is stronger than what my Crystal Pangolin was. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, right.
So it's the same.
Actually, I was thinking about that, like dismantling all of them, but then it comes the events, like right now we have the beast event.
Yeah.
And then
what you want to do is have one copy of each.
Okay. But I can't do that, right? Because if
what's that?
Yeah, because if I dismantle, like this one, I have 2 of these jellyfish.
Yeah.
Can I dismantle and I keep only 1?
Yeah, absolutely.
And
like scroll down to what you have in your warehouse for me for a second. Good. One of each, all at level 1. Perfect. If you had another jellyfish, like every jellyfish that you get, like I would still look at still upgrading them, like still dump them into your potential, or not your potential, but dump the copies into each other.
Yeah.
Like I still do that for mine because you still want to have at least one of each that gives you more kind of freedom. And since it's only counting the top 10 anyways, it doesn't really matter if you have 30.
Yeah.
So I would, but anytime like I have my Crystal Pangolin was fully done, so any extra Crystal Pangolins that I got, I would dismantle right away, release right away. Same with my Corpse Bowl. My Corpse Bowl is done now. So now that my Corpse Bowl is done, I can go ahead and dismantle any extra ones that I get.
Okay.
And release any of the extra ones. 100% go ahead and do that. And then use those fragments, just like we've been talking about, use those fragments at the beast store to get the specific beast fragments that you want.
Yes.
Okay. So when it comes to beasts, I think the hardest thing that people kind of realize, or the hardest thing for people to kind of, damn, this fly won't leave me alone. The hardest thing for them to kind of justify is like what attributes or what stats or what chips to put on. But again, that's a personal preference. It's all going to depend on which ones you have, which ones you're working on, and which ones the game's nice enough to give you. This one, did you have to get that gold, or did the game give it to you? Did you choose that gold?
Yes,
okay.
I chose that gold, but I have no idea why I chose that one.
That's totally fine. It's part of the combo set.
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's part of the combo set. That's the one that I did for my Hammer Pangolin.
Oh, yeah, right. Down here it says combo damage plus 7%.
So once you get the other, like the spine chip that is the same one, the ember chip for your spine. Yeah, once you once you get that one as the same two-sworded one. Do you understand how the chips work in regards to the sets that they have, the arrays?
No.
Okay.
I would say like very, very little. I mean, I look at here a little bit, but I didn't understand.
Okay, so let's make this very easy. Go to your chips in your bag for me. This should clarify some things. Go to your bag, go to your chips.
Like here?
Yeah, that's totally fine. Go up to the choice boxes that you have. It's good that you have some boxes so we can actually talk about this. Click on, don't use them, just click on one. We're going to go use. We just want to look at the chips. Now, these chips are going to be the same between gold and purple. The only difference is golds are obviously better. But the abilities are effectively the same, just different varieties. Okay? So the first thing you want to look at, if you look at it in all, you're going to get confused because there's so many to choose from. There's 18 different chips to choose from. But let's think about the ability that we want. We want to put, you're running a crit beast, let's add some combo to it, right?
Right.
So click on the combo chips. This is immediately going to clarify some things.
Where are the up here.
There's a new button. So now it's limited down to just the combo chips that you want to focus on. Okay?
Okay.
Now the combo chips, or the chips themselves, are broken into two different setups. You have your brain and your spine, which is one setup, and you have your arms and legs, which is another array, they're called. Okay?
Yep.
So if you get your brain and spine chip the same, click on one of them for a second. If you get your brain and spine chip the same, you will get the two-piece array Trounce framework, which provides bonus 7% combo damage. And that's just from having those the same. Okay? Once you get those to level 3, click on the little magnifying glass. Once you upgrade those to level 3, right, as you level them up, you're going to increase that level. As you get them to level 3, you add an additional 50 combo.
Right.
So there's ways to stack more combo. Do you see what we're doing here?
Yes.
Very, very simple.
Yeah.
So this comes from these two. Now, you already have the brain chip, right? In your combo, you already have the brain chip. So next, I would suggest looking at saving up what you can to get the spine chip.
Right.
Because that will provide you with combo damage. Now, you don't have combo in there yet, but there is very easy ways to get that. If you look at the left and right, or the left arm, which is the first one, there's 80 combo right there. There's 160 combo there as soon as you get that. So you might be better, instead of getting the spine one next, you might be better getting this one next. To instantly add 160 combo, which is like, as we've talked about a 20% trigger rate.
Right.
And that'll instantly give you a 20% trigger rate for combo.
Right. And then maybe I go to this one. Now,
13.5% damage, right? Combo damage, which is nice. Or you might go to the right or left leg, which is more defense, depending on what you need. So that's beast counter damage reduced.
Right.
A reduction from grass type. So probably not that one.
Yeah, but this one doesn't have any combo, right? Am I in the right tab? Yeah.
Yes, you are. But here's the thing. Once you have all 4 of the same type, you now activate the 4-piece array serial slash module. You see that? So click on that one again. On the right-hand side, you get your 2-piece array where you get a bonus 80 combo once you have 2 pieces.
Right.
If you get 4 of 4, you then get this additional bottom percentage here as well, which is a 60% chance to grant 22% combo damage for the current attack. One time every second, which is a ton of extra damage.
Right. But then it's the same for all of them.
Right, because you still have to have all 4 in order to trigger it.
Yeah, but the other 2, it can be
Any 2. Except for the
any
brain
2.
and chip. The brain and
Yes.
chip are their own separate ones. So any 2 of the right legs and left legs and right arm, left arm.
Yeah, got it.
So theoretically, let's just run this. If you get your first chip, the next chip that you get is the left arm, which provides you 160 combo, and then let's say theoretically you get lucky enough you get the right leg, which is, yes, it's grass reduction, but as soon as you equip that, you're going to trigger the 2-piece array, which guarantees you an additional 80 combo, which then brings you to 240 combo, which now brings you more combo than you have crit.
Yeah, that is right.
You see what I'm saying? So that combo will stack very, very quickly.
Yeah, but how about the spine? Because the spine, it gives me not that much, actually, 7%.
It gives you 7%, but it's stacking HP and defense.
Yeah.
And the additional
I need
HP and
combo.
defense is huge.
Yeah. But I think now I understand. So can we say it like this way? But when I look at the beast, I try to stack up like here, if I look at this one, the Sabertooth, I have crit, and I have crit.
Mm-hmm.
There I try to stack up combo, the opposite thing.
Well, it's not that it's the opposite thing, because you have to remember the when you level up this one itself, click on the attributes for a second. When you level this one up through its potential, you're going to be giving it crit by itself. So you're going to ramp up its crit to, I think, something like 400 when it's fully done. So all we're trying to do is balance that off so that you're not going to be dumping more crit, because you can put 900 crit, but that's going to equate to like a 50 or 60% trigger rate.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Whereas if we go 450 in combo and 450 in crit, that'll give you like a 40% trigger rate in both of them.
Yeah. But then when I think, I don't know if I think right or wrong, but then if I want to pair them, then I choose, like, if I focus on this one and add, crit, it's already on the shop. But if I add combo, then maybe this one, because this one I have combo and corrode, or this one, then maybe I can pair these, like this one with this one, or this one with this one instead. Because then I can add 4 different damages.
Exactly. The difference with green is that green is adding tank. They don't add damage, they add tank. Yes, they add counter damage, but they're adding that shield effect. So their whole concept, so that's going to be the differencing factor, right? So if you want to have your beast be a little tankier, you can pair him with a grass. If you want to be a little bit more, like, in my opinion, punchier, you'd pair him with water. If you want to hit, like harder, you'd pair it with another crit. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of variety with how you pair them. But remember, that variety comes from if you have the choice. If you don't have the choice, you're going to run on whatever the game gives you the most of.
Yeah, right. But can I do the same thing here? Like, I sell or demolish all of the chips, like the blue ones, like we did with the other armaments for the heroes, and try to buy them?
You can, but I always suggest that you have the chip first before you start to replace them. Like, this is going to be the only, when you look at armaments, I suggest getting rid of blues and greens because they're, to me, irrelevant. But chips, believe it or not, still provide a decent amount. If you go up, for example, and click on that chip that you have there for combo or for crit on the left arm.
Left arm. Should be this
You're
one.
providing 130 crit with this chip.
Right.
So most of your crit right now is coming from your chips.
Right. But should I sell that from the other beasts? Because now we are focusing only on...
Absolutely. What I would do is take off all the chips off of all of your beasts, only put chips on your 2 main beasts. Well, I guess technically your 10 main beasts, because you still need, like, you still technically should have 10 beasts that you have chips on. Right? Because, like, you'll need them for the what are they called? The semi-trucks, right? You need more beasts for your semi-trucks. For arena, you still want to have 5 lines of beasts, so you're still going to be working on those. But outside of those 10 main beasts, you're not going to put chips on any of the other ones. And you're really only going to work on one set of each thing. Of the
Right.
purples
Right.
and the golds. Once you have the purple, get rid of the blue. But keep one of each of the purples and one of each of the golds.
Right.
Because that, like I said, that'll give you more choice, more opportunity, more variety in what you can actually use and what you can choose.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So, but I mean, that's really kind of it. That's kind of a top down on everything. We've gone through beasts. We talked vehicles. We've talked armaments. I mean, even when it comes to chips, we spoke about chips. You have a better idea on what to focus on there. Is there any other questions that you have dying that you want to kind of ask and haven't been able to get answered yet?
I have a couple actually, like a couple of questions. I wrote them here somewhere. Shards. I have a couple of questions. The first thing is like we talked about the shards, like the fragments for the heroes. Because some of them I can buy them from the daily boost for let's say from Julia or Louise or
Yeah.
Should I try to buy them there and then the other free shards that I get, maybe invest them on some other hero, like S hero, like S tier hero, or no? Should I put everything on? Do you understand what I mean? Maybe
Yeah. Should you buy the daily boost?
Yeah, exactly. Where is it? Yeah, this one.
Look, it's
Because for me, it's very hard to get fragments. It doesn't come that quick.
What's your VIP level?
I'm at 9, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, go to your VIP level. Go to VIP 11, I think.
Yeah, then I get the 2 frags.
Okay. So you want to get to VIP 11 as fast as you can.
Okay, then it comes my next question.
Yeah.
Should I spend my gems on VIP or on the battle center?
Battle center. Battle center. Battle center, battle center, battle center. It's going to be your biggest hindrance.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, because
you want
right
your battle
now-
center first.
Okay, but then I try to grow it by itself, technically. But
Yes.
it's going to take a long time.
So, yeah, but once your battle center is 25, then you can dump all your gems and everything jumps into getting to VIP 11. Once you're at VIP 11 getting 2 frags a day, your heroes, I mean, that doubles your growth, right?
Okay. Yeah, got it.
So you want to get to VIP 11, but you definitely need that battle center at 25 as fast as you can because, unfortunately, like I said, that battle center will hinder you ridiculously. I think I'm stuck at 21 right now, and my account is 118 million.
Okay.
So
Yeah, because I was spending a lot on my VIP to get quickly to 10 at least to get those what do we call them, like the armament stuff for the gatherers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the high
but,
performance
yeah.
mortar.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, that's one.
Yep.
But then I changed my tactics here. And then the other thing is about the technology, like here, because now I'm pushing for T5.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, like, when I open my T5, my ranged, should I go all in? Should I go with level 15 for ranged first and then go to open the infantry?
Yes.
Or the other squads? Okay, so I max my range first and
Yep.
then I go and open the T5 for the infantry or the other stuff.
Because remember, your technology does not matter. Your technology is irrelevant. When you're joining rallies and garrisons, it's your leader's technology that matters. So you want to make sure that your ranged hits as hard as they can for what they are.
Right.
And only level up the other ones as you have to until you have no other choice. That's the definition, my definition of hyper-focusing is literally putting everything into boosting up those specific troops. whether it's tech, whether it's heroes, whether it's armaments, anything that you're not putting into, like I said, anything that is not going into making your ranged better is doing you a disservice, is increasing your might, increasing your rating, and only making the game harder for you.
Right. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Anything
great.
else? Anything else that you need? Questions, concerns, brain scratchers, questions you've had about mechanics, anything at all?
Now I think it's a lot to take in. So
Sure.
my brain is almost burned, I would say. But,
Well, you also have, you got
it.
lots to work on. So, I mean, the good thing is that you came to me early. I think this kind of gives you a better idea where you're kind of focusing on moving forward. And I think with this little bit of extra kind of push, this will make your efficacy inside the game a little bit better. You'll be able to participate more, join more. Oh, I would suggest just go to your squads for a second. I do want to give you a little bit of advice when it comes to squads. Show me what your total amounts are. Okay. I would suggest getting to 1 million ranged troops as fast as you can.
Jesus.
So
that's a lot.
anytime you get speed ups or anytime you're using speed ups on anything outside of like your building speed ups, if you're using your regular speed ups, get used to using them on training and start training as much as you can. Use your troop expansions, get training on your tier, whatever tier range troops you have. You want to have at least 1 million of your main one, of your main one.
Okay. And then once I unlock the T5, should I start like upgrading them,
Yes.
or should I start like training them?
No, upgrade. I always upgrade during the day and train during the night. Because the training will take
then
like a day.
there.
It's like a day and 2 hours or something like that, depending on what you're training.
Yeah.
So I would upgrade during the day because you can upgrade in like 6 hours or 4 hours or something like that. So update a bunch in the day and then set some to train at night.
Okay. Yeah, great.
But yeah, get your Ranger troop setups and spend as many of those speed ups as you can training up troops because you're gonna need them. It's important.
Only on ranged, or focus more on the ranged.
Yeah, because your range is your main. Because you're eventually gonna get to a point where you'll fight with 3 range in the field, and you're gonna need 670,000 troops just to have 3 marches in the field. And if you want to do that a couple of times, you're gonna need 1 million troops.
Right.
So start investing now and focusing on anytime you're doing training missions, don't train across all 3, only train ranged.
Okay.
Right? Anytime you're doing speed up missions or training missions or things like that, only train ranged. Hyper focus ranged. Get as many of those ranged troops as you can, because those will be the ones that you'll be using a lot of. Because then you can even have one in the field, be able to join a ranged rally that'll be going out with these new ranged heroes, right?
Right. And then the last question. Do you have any recommendation for the packs, like the worthy packs for, like, let's say, like low spenders in this game? Because you mentioned like these ones. I usually buy like the last 2, like the Mega Armament and this one. I usually buy them. But are there more like that I can stack up maybe every week?
So the weekly packs that I would look at doing, I mean, the main purchases that I would do, back out for a second, go to the mall. And I'll show you the main ones that I would do. The Super Monthly Pass.
Yeah, that's one. I heard this one. Yeah.
Yeah, we want that one every single month. We want the Privileges subscription every month.
Yeah.
You want that one every month. Because that one has aid station privileges. Just for the aid station alone is enough, because it adds like a 5% or a 20% aid station capacity and a 10% aid station recovery and a 5% death rate decrease.
Okay.
So that one's worth it every month too. They also have the new exclusive privileges, so now it actually does auto helps for you, so you don't actually have to click the help button while you're online.
Right.
So they just added that one.
Then maybe I chose a little bit wrong because I'm putting radar and the gem mall as well, I guess, or what do we call it? The other gem thingy.
Resource or the radar. No, where is it? Resource selection pack? No, up above it.
Is it not?
I know which one you're talking about. That one. The
This one.
Carrier.
Yeah, so this one I usually buy them as well. I don't know if it's worth it or not, but yeah.
So I know some people that do. I'm not a big fan of the gem ones because, truth be told, from the Super Monthly Pass, you're already getting it. But the Super Monthly Pass, the Radar Station Passes, and the Privileges and Subscription is the monthly things that almost every player should get. Okay, so those main three are the monthly ones that you're getting. For the daily ones, I'm not much of a daily spender. I like to spend more on the events that come up. Because you'll get like the $9.99 skins, like the shelter skin events that come up, where you can spend 999 gold for a shelter skin, and those ones are typically pretty good because you get a lot of other bonuses for those. Those kind of events I'm going to save for, and I'm going to spend on those more often. Or there's another good pack that comes around every now and again called the... I think it's actually up right now. Back out for a second. The Endless Offers.
Yeah, sometimes.
Endless Offers is up right now. That's a really good value pack as well. The Endless Offers is a pretty good value pack as well to go through that whole setup. Because you get a decent amount of gems and you get a decent amount of armament fragment pieces and stuff like that, so it's a really good pack.
Right.
But in regards to daily ones, like to me, the daily... the daily deal or whatever it's called is not a good value. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't use it.
Yes.
Just especially since the heroes that you get to choose from are all still pretty old heroes. Like if you select from the heroes that are available, the only one that you would actually really want to work on is probably Lewis and Julia and Lynn,
Yeah, Sophie, yeah.
So I guess Sophie's there too. They've added a lot in a new one, so I guess it's not as bad. So do it for the heroes that you need. But I would suggest doing it not for Lewis, doing it more for Sophie.
Okay.
Because
but
you
then
can
how
still
do you
get
get
Lewis
fragments?
You can get Lewis fragments in the store or in the police station.
Okay, right. But the other heroes like Sophie, like fragments, how do you get them? Because for me, it takes a long time to gather, like to collect them.
Yeah, if you're collecting the specific fragments, the only way to get those ones are typically in the bounty wheel when they come out. So save up your gems for the bounty wheel, and then then you're going to be using regular frags. If they're not in the police station, that's why I wouldn't spend on the ones that you can get in the police station, because you're going to get the police station ones for free eventually.
Right.
And if you're already gaining your random or your choice frags every single day, once you get to VIP 11, that'll double your generation on those as well.
Okay.
And then you have your events, like I'll give you an example. The Back Alley Doctor, which is going on right now, is a great event to get gold frags. Once you complete level S, I think level S you get 12. Yeah, level S you get 12.
Yeah.
So it's a good price to get frags from there. They've started to add a lot more frags basically just throughout the game. So you're starting to generate more frags as the game is just going. So you just have to be kind of really cautious on where you're using them.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks, man.
Now, with all that being said, folks, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of Schools in Session. So I love to say thanks so much for joining me today. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and comment down below what your favorite tip, trick, or advice was. Don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and if you can, click that join button and become a member. I know. It's a monthly subscription. Another one, right? And yes, it's $7.99 Canadian. But if you know translations and if you know the transfer rates, that's only like $5 American. And truth be told, it goes a lot farther than you might think. Because unfortunately, IGG doesn't take care of us. YouTube doesn't take care of us very well. So it's one of those situations for right now, we do need to ask the community to come together and support us just a little bit more as we are trying to make this a full-time thing. All of that being said, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed as much as we did. love, peace, chicken grease, and until next time, stay lifted.